The classroom fell into silence the moment the new teacher stepped in. She looked young, far younger than the students expected. Dressed in a simple white blouse and black skirt, with her hair tied back neatly, she didn't carry the stern air most teachers had. Instead, there was something calm and confident about her. Her name was Ms. Carter, and it was her first day at Lincoln High School. But not everyone in the room was willing to give her a chance. In the back row sat 3 boys, known around the school for making life miserable for both students and teachers. Jason, the leader, leaned back in his chair with a smirk, tapping his pencil against the desk as if daring her to notice him. Beside him, Ryan and Marcus whispered and snickered, already planning their next move. "Looks like the school's running out of real teachers." Jason muttered loud enough for the class to hear. Laughter rippled through a few students. Ms. Carter heard it, but she didn't flinch. She placed her books on the desk, looked at the class with steady eyes, and introduced herself calmly. But Jason wasn't finished. As she turned to write on the board, he mimicked her voice in a mocking tone, earning more laughs from his friends. Ryan threw a paper ball across the room, and Marcus whispered, "Bet she won't last a week." For a moment, it seemed like Miss Carter would ignore them. She kept teaching, her voice even and firm. But then Jason crossed the line. He stood up, pretending to limp dramatically, mocking the way she walked. That's when Miss Carter turned around, her expression no longer calm but sharp as steel. "Jason," she said, her voice cutting through the room, "is there something you'd like to share with the class?" The boy grinned, thinking he had the upper hand. "Yeah," he said. "We were just wondering if you even know how to handle a classroom. You look more like a student than a teacher." The room erupted in giggles. That was the moment Ms. Carter made a choice. She walked to the center of the classroom, her heels clicking against the floor. And without warning, she shifted into a strong stance. In one swift move, she kicked a chair across the room. The chair slammed against the wall with a loud thud, startling everyone. The laughter died instantly. Jason's smug grin disappeared. The entire class stared in shock. Miss Carter didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. Instead, she said firmly, "I earned my place here. I've trained harder than you can imagine. I am not here to be mocked. I am here to teach. But if you think intimidation is your game, let me be very clear, you won't win." But Jason tried to laugh it off, but his voice shook. "Saw, what you think kicking a chair makes you tough?" Miss Carter looked straight at him, calm and unshaken. "Do you want me to prove otherwise?" For the first time, Jason had no answer. His friends shifted uncomfortably, their confidence cracking. The power they held over the class was slipping. Miss Carter didn't need to touch them. She had shown just enough to make it clear she was not someone to underestimate. From that day, everything began to change. The bullies, who once mocked and disrupted every teacher, suddenly found themselves quiet whenever Ms. Carter walked in. The students who had suffered under Jason's cruelty finally felt safe to speak up in class. Slowly, the respect she earned spread beyond that single moment. But Ms. Carter knew it wasn't enough to silence the bullies. She wanted to reach them. One afternoon after class, she asked Jason to stay behind. He rolled his eyes but obeyed. "Look," she said, her tone softer, "I know why you act the way you do. You think respect comes from fear. But real strength, it's not about putting others down. It's about lifting them up." Jason scoffed, but her words stuck with him. No one had ever called him out like that before. Over time, he began to notice the truth in what she said. Ms. Carter challenged him, not with anger, but with patience. When he tried to test her again, she met his attitude with calm determination. Slowly, his behavior shifted. The biggest change came one day when a younger student dropped his books in the hallway. Normally, Jason would have mocked him. But this time, he helped pick them up. His friends were stunned, and though they laughed at him for it, Jason couldn't forget Miss Carter's words. Real strength is lifting others up. By the end of the year, Miss Carter had not only gained the respect of the entire school, but also transformed the very students who once tried to break her. The same boys who mocked her on her first day became quieter, more thoughtful, and less cruel. Her story became an unspoken lesson, for everyone appearances can be deceiving, and courage doesn't always come with loud words. Sometimes it comes in the form of quiet confidence, unshakable strength, and the ability to stand tall against cruelty. Miss Carter proved that respect isn't demanded, it's earned. And in the end, the bullies who once laughed at her were the ones wiping away their tears, realizing they had met someone far stronger than they ever imagined.